Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling. Guess what? Spring is here in the Midwest because my bulbs are coming out. Ha ha ha! I just went out and checked out my garden this afternoon, and things are looking green and beautiful out there. So I'm going to bring some of that green beauty on the inside of my house as well. Today, I'm going to be creating a centerpiece for my kitchen table because it needs some perking up. I'm going to be using, as always, things I've got in my garage, some thrift store items, and a little bit of weirdness. So we're gonna get started and come join me. Let's see what this turns out to be like. The actual base for this centerpiece is going to be this kind of wonky little pedestal thing that I discovered, and I think someone put this together. I believe this was a candlestick of some type, and this is all screwed together and it's chipped in places, which I am simply going to paint over. And you can see some of my screws are stripped out, so I am going to disassemble and take it apart, and then I'm just gonna rotate it and screw it back in, avoiding the stripped out holes. Now I'm going to incorporate some of my scraps of poultry wire that I've used in my garden. And I've used this before, and it is a really cool medium to work in. So if you ever get the opportunity to pick up some poultry wire or chicken wire, love chicken wire. I'm gonna do a video on some things I've made with chicken wire as well. But for today, I'm using the square, small square poultry wire. So using this poultry wire, I am going to create kind of a double handle for like a basket. And they will have a strip coming up on all four sides. So four handles, shall we say, accumulating, or should I say combining or intersecting as one whole piece in the middle at the top. So first I have to start by doing my strips up the side, and then I'll start to create a pattern. The pattern I'm making is a larger square within the whole grid of the smaller squares. And it will make a pattern going all the way up the side for a little variety. Plus it's gonna give me like a groove to put something in later. So here we have my handle, and you can see how it is one whole piece. And I am going to now place it on that base of our arrangement. And I need to make sure that they are equal distance, or this whole thing will look funny and lopsided. Now that I have it in the location that I want it, I have it temporarily clamped, and now I'm going to use my E6000 to glue it, clamp it, and let it sit and dry overnight. Now that it's dry, it's time for paint, and as you saw, I'm using smoky beige. It's a satin, and I'm giving it some quick coats, and I will come back and I will hit her a second time, and if I miss anything, I will hit it again. Now I'm going to add a card holder to the top of my handles, or basket, or whatever we're calling it at this point. I have spray painted it to match the rest of my arrangement, and now I'm going to E6000 it and clamp it into place. I'm going to use some of my old coconut liners from outside gardening in the middle of my centerpiece to emulate a nest. The first thing I'm going to do is take my coconut liners and pull them apart. They're way too stiff. If you've ever really seen a real bird's nest, they are light and fluffy and delicate, and this is anything but. So I'm gonna tear it apart and we're gonna fluff it up. Now we'll start arranging it in our basket, I guess. I've called it a basket. Now it's time for a field trip. I am out on a back road near my house, and I'm gonna pick some of these plumes. They are gonna be part of the nest. Now it's time to get some stuff out of my own yard. So I've gone out, and if you've seen my video where I deadhead and whatnot, this is some of the stuff I've kept. from deadheading last fall. And I also have in there some raffia. And these are also going to be part, and this is grass. That's grass. That's natural grass that I have in a pot, and it's starting to get green again, but I brought it in because I'm going to use some grass. Now it's time to add some of my dried plumes that I got on the side of the road. And it's not the first time I've stopped and picked up dried things or whatnot from the side of the road. I'm also a fan of getting people's garbage that they think's garbage that I don't think's garbage. Now I'm gonna add some of the grass from my own yard. And I've tried a couple different ways to get this through that thick coconut liner. And a couple things worked for me. My shears worked, my chopstick worked a little bit, and my barbecue skewer worked to some degree. But I'm just slowly working all my dried components all the way around the exterior of this nest. To get these dried components where I want them, it is taking time, but it's looking really full and really beautiful, and so far so good. But I might have to go back out to the side of the road and get more plumes because I don't think I got enough. Oh well, I don't mind. Now that the actual nest part is complete, we need to add some decorative ribbon to our handles. I have some absolutely gorgeous, springy, summery, beautiful, very romantic looking ribbon. It's blue and has some beautiful pink roses on there. And I'm folding it in thirds because I want it to fit right through that hole and back up through the next hole, and so on. I will just keep weaving it through until I get to the top. As you can see, I have finished my romantic ribbon, and now I'm adding some sheer real light pink ribbon, and I'm also weaving it in and out through every little square. And I'm going to cover both sides. You can see I have part of it already done. And I come up to the top just like I did with my romantic ribbon, and I'll come down the other side. Now for some greenery. This is one stem, one lonely little stem that I had in the garage, and it's old. And as you can see, the little leaves are really tattered, so I am pulling them all off just to leave this beautiful branch. And look at the color on that branch. It is so pretty. And we are going to add this to our lovely arrangement on the side of the bird's nest. I also have some partial candle rings left from a wedding I did, and I'm going to use bits and pieces of what is left over because the colors will blend beautifully with that romantic ribbon. So we're starting with the stem so that it looks like a branch just has grown up through this lovely little nest and around our basket arrangement, whatever we intend to call it. And now we're going to add some of those beautiful linen flowers. I love linen flowers. Sadly, you cannot use them outside, but you can use them inside. So I continue to arrange until I get it looking exactly the way I want. As always with flower arranging, take your time. You're looking for scale and balance, so that's appealing to the eye. I'm going to paint these two wood egg halves and add them to the top. You'll see them in a bit. Now we're going to fill our basket. I feel that we need some real eggs in there. And so I'm going to open them up gently and drain them and wash them, and we're going to add them to the nest in our arrangement. I'll be adding 3 eggs total in my nest. As we know, I like to work in odd numbers. If you have eggs, you have to have chicks. So I'm going to take these cardinals and make them look different. I'm going to tear them apart and turn them into baby chicks. Now, If you want to see the complete transformation of these birds, check out my video, Dimensional Farmhouse Signs. The link is in the description below. And even though these cardinals are plastic and the birds I transform in the farmhouse sign video are foam, the procedure's the same. I'm using the exact same technique on these. This project is complete and I'm so happy with the way it turned out, and I'm going to show it to you right now. But first, as promised, here is that fresh eggs farmhouse sign from last week's video, all complete. There's our little chicks, all in place with some eggs, and you can see the lettering, how it has that ombre effect with a little strie. Here's our arrangement, all complete. The pretty romantic ribbon, and you can see the egg at the top, and the card holder is still inside, so you can put a message in there, Happy Easter, Welcome Spring. And inside my nest is a sleepy little chick who just hatched, so tired. And she's hatching out of one of those eggs we created. And here we have a couple more of the little chicks that we made from those cardinals. And I made them so they can stand on their own. I even emptied out some more eggs to fill my cute little green cartons. I used some of last year's corn husk and some raffia to make a bow to complete the look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, and please support this channel by subscribing. Ring the bell to get notifications of all my upcoming videos. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.